Day before the Prime Minister's visit, militants attack an army convoy in Srinagar. 8 Jawans are killed. Heavy rain and fresh landslides hamper rescue efforts in Uttarakhand. Nearly 15,000 people still remain stranded. Indians visiting the UK could have to fork out a 2.7 lakh rupee cash bond for a visa. The High Commission claims this is to separate genuine applicants. After the JDU's departure, the Sena asked the BJP, do allies grow on trees? Is Modi dividing the NDA further? The relatively peaceful summer in Srinagar has been shattered in an audacious attack. Suspected Hizbul Mujahideen and Lashkar militants ambushed an army convoy on the outskirts of the city, killing 8 Jawans and injuring several others. The attack comes on the eve of a high-profile visit by the Prime Minister.
In the capital Srinagar, an army convoy attacked, the second major terrorist attack in the last 3 days. The ambush at Hyderpura bypass frequented by army troops. The convoy targeted was part of the Victor force engaged in counter-insurgency operations. It was going from Srinagar to North Kashmir. 2 terrorists opened fire, killing soldiers and injuring many.
One of these army vehicles coming from the side of Pantachok going towards the Baramulla bypass has been fired upon by a couple of terrorists.
The terror build-up coming ahead of the Prime Minister's visit to Jammu and Kashmir. As the army retaliated, just kilometers away, another attack. Militants fired in Barzula near the airport Lal Chowk Road. 1 CRPF soldier was injured. New Delhi says, for now there is no change in the Prime Minister's visit. The state's Chief Minister tweeted, such high-profile attacks are aimed at restoring the shattered morale of militants while trying to demoralize security forces.
As Prime Minister is visiting Srinagar, the challenge before the police and security forces is how to deal with the situation when the attackers who had targeted army convoy and a CRPF patrol are still at large in the town. Clearly, militants' attacks have cast their shadow on Prime Minister's Kashmir visit. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Well, the Prime Minister has extended his condolences to the families of those who laid down their lives. He says he prays for the early recovery of those who've been injured. He adds this cowardly attack will not deter security forces who are engaged in bringing peace and order to the valley. The latest on the Uttarakhand situation now, nearly 15,000 people remain stranded a week after the floods and landslides. But in what could be a severe setback, the Met Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall over Uttarakhand in the next 72 hours. Well, today as well, fresh rain and landslides hampered the pace of relief work. Overnight landslides blocked a major route near Rudraprayag, which was key for evacuations. Helicopters were unable to make sorties in the rain, but the Indian Air Force eventually managed to rescue 430 people today.
Devastated parents holding on to the only thing they have left, faith in God. Hoping against hope that their daughter Manju, her husband and their 2 children may yet make it back safe and sound. It's the same faith after all that led them to undertake the Yatra to Kedarnath to begin with, a pilgrim's journey of mind over matter. Today, Om Dutt Sharma, Delhi-based advocate, and his wife, who last spoke to their daughter on the 14th of June, can only fall back on prayer. And they hope it will see them through the anxiety of an endless, torturous wait.
14 तारीख की शाम के बाद उनके किसी टेलीफोन नंबर पर भी नहीं हो पा रहा है। हमारा परिवार, मेरी बेटी के ससुराल वाले, उनके रिश्तेदार और हमारे सारे रिश्तेदार बहुत दुखी हैं। हमें भगवान पर पूरा भरोसा है।
The news from Kedarnath, however, is very grim. The army and the air force say that the entire area around the shrine has been evacuated. They are now preparing for funerals. Apprehensive that bodies strewn across the compound of the centuries-old temple may decompose soon, choppers are being stacked up with wooden ghee to perform last rites. That's once the weather shows a little compassion. But families who have not been returned a body refuse to believe the worst. In the last 24 hours alone, more than 700 phone calls were made to military helplines by relatives looking for those gone missing. Many of them have travelled long distances with very little money or support to search for those they love, only to find their anguish compounded by no information and a broken road link. All along the route to Rudraprayag, the last 24 hours have seen multiple landslides blocking almost every entry point into the upper reaches of the hills. Even kacha rastas and gravel roads that swerve over sharp rocks and steep hill drops lead to an absolute dead end. After every single entry point has been attempted, including through routes that actually have no road tracks, the families wait. What else can they do? Some impassive, some heartbroken. And as the rain comes pouring down, the landslides get tougher and tougher to clear. It could be a full day, we are told, before most of these routes can be opened. It is through remote kacha rastas like this one, long and winding roads through the mountains, that families who are looking for their loved ones are now attempting to somehow get into Rudraprayag. The bad weather, the rainfall combined with the road link completely breaking down today has only compounded the anguish of those families who neither have good news nor bad news. They just don't have any news at all, and many of them are now stranded on the road, doing nothing but waiting and praying. This journey for them is a test of human endurance. Ved Prakash, a farmer from Aligarh, has come searching for his younger brother Ajit and 7 other members of his family, all of whom went missing also at the Kedarnath shrine. He last spoke to his brother on the 16th of this month.
हमारा दिल कहता है, हमारा दिल कभी ये नहीं कहेगा कि हमारा भाई कहीं चला गया। हमारा भाई वहाँ फंसा हुआ है, हम ये जरूर कहेंगे गर्व के साथ, उसे कुछ नहीं हुआ, वो फंसा हुआ है, वहाँ से वो निकाला जाए। ऐसे ही चढ़े चले जाएंगे, रुके नहीं, तो खुद कह रहे हैं कि तुम ज्यादा भीतर मत चले जाना, रास्ता बस्ता तुम सिर्फ जाना वहाँ देख कर।
He's now spent his entire day at this road blockade, unable to fight back the tears as he watches men struggle to clear boulders and stone through the water. Most families we meet, trapped like us by the landslides, have come looking for relatives who were on the Kedarnath Yatra. Suresh Meena, who earns a living working as a driver in Rajasthan, boarded a state tourism bus to Uttarakhand, and he's been here 6 days without any leads. He shows this scrap of paper to everyone in the hope that someone may help him find his parents, his brother, his sister-in-law and their 2 children.
तो इसमें कौन-कौन है आपके परिवार के?
ये भैया है मेरे, भाभी हैं, ये मेरे भतीजे हैं।
और केदारनाथ के दर्शन करने आए थे, तो आप बताइए कि ये आपकी इनसे कब से बात नहीं हो पाई, लाइक आखिरी वक्त बात कब हुई?
17 तारीख को हुई थी।
17 तारीख को
मॉर्निंग में।
तो क्या बोले उस समय? कोई बारिश
हो रही थी ज्यादा,
तो उनको कुछ
बोल रहे थे,
उनको कुछ अंडरस्टैंडिंग थी कि कितना बड़ा हादसा होने वाला है?
ये पता नहीं था।
तो अब आप किस तरफ को जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि सड़कें तो यहाँ सब बंद पड़ी हैं, आप क्या करेंगे? आप
लास्ट डिसीजन लेंगे, उधर देखने मिल जाए तो कहीं।
अभी उम्मीद है आपको कि कुछ अच्छी खबर मिल सकती है? आप बताएं, आप भी सेम परिवार के हैं, यहाँ सारी सड़क बंद पड़ी है, तो अब आगे क्या रास्ता है, ऊपर कैसे पहुँचेंगे?
जो भी होगा हमारा रिस्क होगा, अब क्या करें फिर। यहाँ की सरकार तो कुछ सुननी ही नहीं रही, फिर क्या मतलब है? यहाँ 5 दिन से पड़े हैं, कोई खोज खबर नहीं, उनसे संपर्क नहीं हो पा रहा। ये तो बताए कम से कम कहाँ गए, लेकिन कोई जवाब ही नहीं देता।
It's the struggle of hundreds of families who are caught between hope and heartbreak. The dark skies they pray are not a symbol of what may lie ahead. In Rudraprayag with Manoj Thakur, Ruby Dhingra and Numan Siddiqui, Parkha Dutt for NDTV.
For rescuers working round the clock in Uttarakhand, a small setback on Monday. Widespread rains and overcast skies slowed down air operations, halting them briefly in the morning. Adverse weather, however, failed to dampen the spirit of the military. By noon, both the Air Force and the Army Aviation recommended operations to rescue over 400 stranded pilgrims from distant places. But with severe weather warnings sounded for the next 3 days, fresh anxiety for the pilgrims and their relatives. Sensing the dread perhaps, Air Chief Marshal Brown reassured the nation, "Our rotors will not stop churning till such time we get each one of you out. Hang in there, don't lose hope." The army too continued its ground operations for 8th straight day, bringing pilgrims out of Badrinath and Harsil.
Inclement weather has brought in overcast skies and heavy rains in parts of Uttarakhand, hampering rescue and relief operations by the Indian Armed Forces, especially the Indian Air Force helicopters. And yet, the Indian Air Force has decided to press on with its massive rescue efforts in various valleys of Uttarakhand. Whether that will bring in results commensurate with the effort will be seen only tomorrow. At Rudraprayag with Manoj Thakur, Nitin Gokhale for NDTV.
At 14,000 feet, this is what Hemkund Sahib once looked like, one of the most stunningly located Gurudwaras. Pilgrimage to this holy shrine began on May 29th, a fortnight before the rains lashed the region, trapping almost 5,000 pilgrims on the Hemkund axis. A week later, they've all been brought to safety, but find themselves stuck again, here in Gochir Rudraprayag, as all road routes out of this region are blocked.
आप लोग हेमकुंड साहब कितने दिन फंसे हुए थे?
हम हेमकुंड से 6 किलोमीटर पहले गोविंद धाम था, घांगरिया, जो गोविंद धाम गुरुद्वारा का नाम है, वहाँ हम 5 नाइट हमने वहाँ पे और 6 डेज हम वहाँ पे रहे हैं.
As they recount their frightening stories, they speak of how they walked through overflowing streams and thick cover of the Bhyandar Valley, helped mostly by the men of the ITBP and the army. The youngest in this group is 5. Gurudwara Seva Samitis across the country were quick to respond to the tragedy. Langars, so intrinsic to the faith, were set up not just for Hemkund pilgrims, but for anyone in need.
गुरुद्वारे में लंगर पानी की तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी, बट जो साइकोलॉजिकल सब बंदे परेशान थे, कोई बीमार था, और जैसे कि ट्रीटमेंट जो था मेडिकल, बच्चों को काफी ब्लीडिंग भी हो रही थी, जो मानसिक तौर पे काफी परेशान भी हो रहे थे.
In an earlier time, to get to Hemkund Sahib, you would walk for 13 kilometers from Govind Ghat to Ghangriya, also called Govind Dham. The next day, another steep 6 kilometers to the actual shrine. But that has changed. In the last 5 years, the arrival of private helicopter services has given easy access to the shrine, leading to a dramatic 70% rise in the number of both pilgrims and tourists. The reason why, when the rains came, the numbers of those trapped was so high and the scale of the devastation immense. But having survived the ordeal, these pilgrims chose to respond with words rooted in the same faith that had led them on their pilgrimage.
एक तो गुरु साहब की कृपा थी, कुछ तो संगत गुरु साहब की गोद में चली गई, और कुछ संगत ऐसी हुई कि उनको एक नया जन्म मिला है, तो उसका शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहिए.
In Gochir, Uttarakhand, with driver Sarabjit Singh, camera person Sudesh Kumar Ram, this is Radhika Bordia for NDTV.
Amazing faith even in the face of complete devastation. Let's move on now to the big political story of the day. Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray has asked the BJP to explain how exactly it plans to draw new partners to the NDA coalition. Saying allies don't exactly grow on trees, Uddhav Thackeray warned the BJP that the decision to cast Narendra Modi as the face of its election campaign could make it further off limits for partners.
हमारे मन में प्रश्न आता है कि कहाँ गए वो लोग. एक जमाने में इंडी की संख्या 25 के ऊपर थी हमारे सभी मित्रों की. आज हम 2 या 3 बचे हैं.
Can Narendra Modi win friends for the ever-shrinking NDA? After the JDU, now it's BJP's oldest ally, Shiv Sena, upping the ante against Modi. Uddhav Thackeray asking in the party mouthpiece Samna. Advani advises to get new allies. But from where? One can't sow seeds and win friends. Allies need nurturing. And then Uddhav taunted the BJP, saying, after Sharad Yadav resigned as NDA's convener, the post is vacant. What's the use of this post? To call the other 2 parties for tea? But this is actually another attack against Narendra Modi. Sena sources reveal Modi's polarizing image won't win the NDA any new allies, and the BJP showed extreme haste in elevating their poster boy despite Advani's opposition. In fact, even the Sena is doubtful if Modi can pull votes beyond Gujarat.
ममता हो या जयललिता हो, नवीन पटनायक हो, येदियुरप्पा हो, सबको एक साथ लाने की कोशिश होनी चाहिए।
अगर 3 आ गए तभी तो 13 होंगे।
In Mumbai, Tejas Mehta for NDTV.
The police in Manipal released the sketch of a man who they claim is one of the 3 suspects in the case of a young student's gang rape. Manipal, along the Karnataka coast, is home to at least 27 colleges and nearly 21,000 students from across the country. This horrific attack has created anger and unrest among the student community.
The anger and outrage of students in Manipal and Udupi over the sexual assault on a young woman found expression on the streets of the university town.
We are even scared to travel in the auto or even in buses to come to our college. We can't even move out now.
Students shouting slogans marched to the office of the Udupi Superintendent of Police to meet him and demand some guarantee of safety for the thousands of students who study here. Police released a sketch of a suspect based on a description given by the young woman. Police have not directly interacted with her so far, but only through her doctors because of the trauma she has undergone. And that is just one of the challenges they are facing in this investigation.
We are very happy to see that good progress is being made in our interaction with the victim. The investigation teams are working ceaselessly.
Police are examining closed-circuit television footage, but no arrests have been made so far. And the students remain in a state of unease. Manipal has been known for many years as a safe and secure place for students. Has that changed forever? Students here, gathered in protest, are angry and upset and shocked about what happened. And they're approaching the police, the authorities in the state of Karnataka to try and ensure some sense of security, to try and restore that sense of safety that Manipal used to provide them. With DM Kumar, Maya Sharma for NDTV.
Still ahead, a setback for actor Salman Khan. He could face up to 10 years in jail. We'll have more on that story in a moment. Over 10 years after he allegedly drove his Land Cruiser over a group of people sleeping on the pavement in Bandra, Salman Khan will be tried for a hit-and-run case. A Sessions Court today rejected his appeal that there wasn't enough evidence against him. He's been given a month's time to appear before the court.
Trouble for actor Salman Khan. The Mumbai Sessions Court today rejected his review petition in the 2002 hit-and-run case, which basically means that the actor will be now tried under 304 Part 2 of the IPC, which is for culpable homicide not amounting to murder.
A much graver offence, and if convicted, the Bollywood superstar could find himself behind bars for 10 years.
जब उनके ऊपर 304 और 304(2) पार्ट 2 लगना था, उस वक्त भी ये लोग हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाके किस तरह समय का जाया करते हैं और किस तरह ये 10 साल लगा है, तो बिल्कुल मान सकते हैं कि उनके वकील जो है फिर कोशिश करेंगे कि इस ऑर्डर के खिलाफ वो हाई कोर्ट में जाएं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाएं, ताकि उनको इतना समय मिल सके कि वो अपनी फिल्में बना सकें और पैसे कमा सकें.
The court taking into consideration 2 pieces of evidence. Deceased eyewitness and police constable Ravindra Patil, who had stated that Salman was speeding and didn't slow down, and critically tests which revealed Salman was driving under the influence of alcohol. In a statement, Salman said that he could appeal in the Bombay High Court, a case that 11 years later is still exactly where it started. With Rashmi Rajput in Mumbai, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.